being queer is kind of an adventure. And it allows you to grapple with identity, I think, earlier than most people who are heterosexual or heteronormative get to grapple with their identities. And I think that's important because our identities are actually kind of hollow. And the Buddhists use the word emptiness a lot, which can feel difficult. And what I'd like to talk about today, and I thought about it a lot because it's not often that people ask you to talk about something besides work. And what I'd like to talk about today is what happens after the existential crisis that many people go through when they feel that kind of emptiness. I think most intelligent people go through at least one existential crisis in their lives. I've been through like 50. But I want to talk about what happens on the other side of that. I'll start with the very basic. I think there's something inside of us that's different from our physical body. I think that there is something big and out there that a lot of different people have a lot of different words for. And I think that connecting those two things is pretty important. I was in a rafting accident last week. Those of you who have done whitewater rafting, I got caught in a strainer. It's a very dangerous situation. And I had this little moment where I was hanging onto a log and I was kind of outside of my body. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm in trouble. This is kind of one of these slow motion moments. And that's moments like that are why I feel pretty confident in that first piece, that there's something when I think about people in my life who have passed on, like there's something else. It's not just a physical body that we're talking about here. One of the things that people jump to pretty quickly is purpose. Oh, okay, well, one way to align all of these things is purpose. That's important. And I think no other people today are going to talk about purpose. It's beautiful. It's meaningful. But purpose alone is not enough. I'll give you an example. I feel very confident that my purpose is to teach. That it's beautiful, it's transformative, it's a filter for my life. That's great. But it's not quite enough to build back the pieces after a life crisis where you're not 100% sure what's up and what's down. Okay. But if you're curious about your purpose, there's easy ways to figure it out. Who are you? It's your name. What do you do? Who do you help? That's your purpose, your calling, your vocation. It's great, it's beautiful, it's important. What about emotion? We have been taught, and rightly so, that it's so critical to be in right relationship with our emotion. When you're sad, be sad. When you're happy, be happy. When you're scared, be scared. This is beautiful, this is important. Start to figure out how to enjoy those feelings of fear, of shame, of guilt. There's beautiful, beautiful things you can do in this process. But even that is not enough. So what then do you do? Well, you start to figure out that when you look deeper into all of these things, our brain is a filtering mechanism. It's not creating these things, it's filtering the outside world. And when we get open to this world that's much bigger than we can imagine, and we look deeper and deeper and deeper, underneath everything, there's this kind of emptiness. So what do? You remember the old children's song, Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Say it if you remember it. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Exactly. What do? This solves almost everything. How do you live your life? You row your boat. You are in control of part of this journey. Responsibility of yourself. This is very important. You row the boat. How do you do it? Gently. You're not too hard on yourself. It's not too painful for you. You row gently down what? Down a stream that is carrying you in directions that you are not fully aware of. If you've ever wondered to yourself, Free will, predestination, are we in control? Both, yes, all of that. It's in row, row, row your boat. We don't have to think too hard about it. You're rowing your boat, you're avoiding obstacles, but that stream is carrying you. Row your boat gently down the stream. How? Merrily, happily, joyfully. Why? Because life is but a dream. That's the emptiness that we're talking about. So now what we do in this world where we're rowing our boat gently down the stream? One is that spirituality is both masculine and feminine. There's divinity in both of these things. And if you err too far to one or too far to the other, you get in trouble. If you start actually doing the things that we're talking about, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, you figure out a practice that's the right balance of masculine and feminine for you. And I think queer people are especially good at blending these things together. Your self, your conception of self, your ego, will start to dissolve. It's gone. And what remains, because there is something that remains, not everything is gone, even in that emptiness, love and clarity remain. Love, which is big and abundant, and Meister Eckhart calls it the Grund, the ground of everything. And clarity, you know exactly what you should do, what decisions you should make, who you should be. It is there. It's deep once you remove that story of the ego. Love and clarity. There's a Buddhist teacher who talks about enlightenment is just your ability to stand in your own two shoes. And that's what this is. Your ability to step in to your own two shoes. You will align that little thing, that big thing, together like that. And you realize that they're all kind of actually the same thing in a very powerful, very abstract, and very weird way. Thank you.